needs us to witness her beauty. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, we're gonna come right back, motherfucker.
Feel
And guess
you,
what?
man.
The Native Americans, when I remember they were talking to a chief of the Native American tribe when because recently the government went into their lands and was taking all their water supplies and shit. And they said, "What are you guys gonna do?" And they were like, "We're not gonna do anything. God's gonna do it for us. And when everybody dies, we will come back and they won't."
Say no more.
Yeah, like, okay, how long will it take for for this to happen again like this? A billion years? What are the chances? Roll the dice. You know, before then, there were times where every group of people, the earth people, the red people, ruled the earth. They were the
That's right.
primary survivors, the yellow people, the
Yeah.
black people. Now we're in the time of the Aryans, the people of the mind, the Aryans, the air, the mind. And we're in the intelligence sign. Earth is doing this on purpose. This isn't bad. This is exactly what it wrote. This is
Totally.
exactly what it wrote.
I feel you on that, man. I make reference to the indigenous tribes as well that talk about, they've been here and done this before, and they've developed high technological, high technological civilizations that in some way or another destroyed itself, and they started all over again. And then we basically got the youngest child, the new player in the game, just living out the myth or the ritual that other cultures, like you said, whether it's the red man, the brown man, the black man, have played out before. And we're just watching him do it his way, and like the Twa, the small people, they say, we've done this before, man. So we just sit back, we'll put our grass skirts on, and we ain't trying to build and develop and do what we've done in the past. And we just observe the children as they go out and play, and
Yeah.
we're just part of that experience right now.
Because it's like the age-old parable. Like the rich man works his whole life ripping people off to retire at 80 so he could live on a little beach island and fish and live on the island in the trees and in a little beach house and see the water. But somebody that's a villager, somebody seen as poor, is born like that. So this guy chasing this American dream is working his whole life just to get back to nature in which we were born. It's like it's already here. You know what I mean? It's already here. Like I say it, everything has to pass the blind man test. If it don't pass the blind man test, it's not real. In other words, the aesthetic of riches only works if you can see them. Because a Ferrari to a blind man is a car. It's a moving vessel that gets me from point A to point B that I sit in. You know, a bed is a bed. A floor is a floor. A shirt is a shirt. You know what I mean? Like you start to realize that real quick, but it don't work in this paradigm like that. Like they got us fucked up, bro. Like this, you know what's going on. I mean, with the COVID too, and we have to walk on eggshells to even talk on that. You know what I mean? You know what's
Getting
going on.
flagged for sure, man, for sure. So what I want to do, because we could do this all day, bro, and we can bounce back, and I'd love to get you back again so we can do more of this and just delve in. But I do really want to get into the music side of things as well, man, and and just bounce around as well. And really inspired by the LSD, Lunar Solar Duality project. You kill it on several of the tracks personally. So I want you to just share, because that's relevant, current. I know you've got some new projects out, like singles that have been released, but can we delve in there? And that's kind of like our segue from psychedelics, LSD into music, and and we can start to wrap it up from there, man.
Yeah, so I initially started conceptualizing LSD in 2016ish. I moved from Florida to New York, Bronx, New York, which is where hip hop was born in 2005 November.
Let me just give a shout out to Black Dot, because he was the one who then reconnected me with you again. He was like, yeah, he was posting. I don't know if you know Black Dot, Hip Hop Decoded.
Yes.
Yeah, he was posting. Yeah. And I spent time with the brothers out there and connected. So yeah, but sorry to cut, go for it.
But that's relevant because it was then that I hooked up with what some people call the Black conscious community, which, has its figures and stars within its own right, which at that time, that's when I initially met Loaded Lux. I met Red and Blue Pill. I met, I saw Phil Valentine live. As soon as I came down there, I saw Phil Valentine. I was like, my primary goal was to be the voice, the musical voice of that scene, because I knew those ears were primed to hear what I have to say. And it also had to do with the indigenous knowledge. Like, these guys were for whatever you want to say. These guys were doing the research and then presenting it to us in a way that we've never heard. So I immediately lined up with them. And so at this time, I was already into the vernaculars of the occult, which is basically what you're hearing when you hear me rhyme is I'm using words that aren't really familiar, and I say them and I write them in a manner that's borderline like old English, like biblical writing, like how I would write it if I were to put it on a tablet. I'm very meticulous about it. And that started after doing all this research, reading the Tao countless times. And so the first thing that happened was I did the definitive Meta God trilogy, which DMT, I did the DMT song, which was me breaking down the acronym into a song. So I put that on a compilation that kind of took the songs from previous mixtapes, the Smoke and Mirror series, and I put out DMT. And then I was like, but the album I want to come out with, it says that my connection is a little weird. Yeah, so let me know if it comes out. Yeah, but when it came down to conceptualizing, check.
Yeah, go for it. There's a slight delay, cut out a bit.
Am I good? Yeah, so in 2016, I was actually when I released DMT, but prior to me releasing DMT, I started recording LSD. And the first thing I did was I created the Nigger Christ track, which is the first single I released from that album. And then I recorded the 33 track. So that all
that's what I want to go into. I definitely want to go into that there.
Yeah. So I was already in that mindset. Like, I was already planning for my 33rd birthday, which is the death of Christ. And I kind of put myself in that mind frame because solipsistically, we all feel like we are in this point of we are in that storyline. So for this album, the Lunar Solar Duality came out of me originally creating the DMT song and then realizing that that acronym also works for LSD. And then I was like, that would be a great title for an album because I was born on July 21st, which is on the cusp. It's the Cancer Leo cusp, which is the solar and lunar signs. So, but I didn't originally plan for it to come out when I turned 33 because I started making it in 2016. It's just that things just kept happening. So, shortly after creating that, I created the Tupac song. Then I hooked up with Brother Rich and I made the Holy Ghost albums. Then I made the Holy Ghost, the Cambatta album, which also came out of nowhere. So the LSD album kept getting sidelined. But the whole time I was conceptualizing it and recording songs and putting them away for it. Like my most, I must have recorded 100 songs for LSD, but I wanted to keep the storyline intact. So everything that I recorded had the transition from the moon to the sun in it. And the reason why I went from moon to sun is because I'm literally the cusp. I'm on the transition from the sun to the from the moon to the sun. So so it just turned out that I got the deal for it. Mellow Music hit me up in 2018 to put out the album. And it was supposed to come out in 2019, but again, it just got halted off, you know what I mean? Life happened. And then it came out 2020, the most epic year of all time. It also, when I made my 33rd, when I had my 33rd birthday, on my birthday, I put it out. So it just worked. It's just, I consider it my first album, and it's the most, I would say complete work I have that explains my life and, my journey up to that point. It encapsulates, all most of the points of my skill set for the most part up to that point. But I wanted to create it so that way if I died on my 33rd birthday, it would be enough, it would be impactful and it would be substantial enough to carry my legend on, you know.
Mm.
So, you know, because you never know, you know. So I just, when I stamped it, it was like, all right, this is my complete work. Boom. You know, if I have to retire today, this is a good note to leave on, you know. And I left some prophecy there. There was some new wrinkles that have never been done in hip hop. So it was a nice little accent, you know. But yeah, it is.
Yeah. Well, no, definitely 33, bro. That just hits home. That just hits home, man. I'm 43, man. So, you know, I'm a cycle later, 10-year cycle later. But when I heard that, I was like, yeah, you go in on that. I like the way you end the track. No, just the creativity on that is just dope. And for me, it's like, though, there's actually, I think it's like three of them back to back. It's like three, those are my tunes. What is it? Yeah, Nigga Christ, I think is in there. And Son of Horus.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like, that's just yeah. So, and I like the play on words, man. Yeah, you're a wordsmith, innit? You're a wordsmith there, bro. So yeah, could you just share just a bit in relation to Son of Horus, definitely. What was the inspirations behind that, and Nikola Tesla as well. That's another one as well.
Yeah. So I hooked up with this engineer and producer eBass, who's like the bass guitarist. He's done bass guitar for Jay-Z, Eminem, Kanye. He's one of the greatest. He did the bass guitar all on Blueprint. All the tracks on Blueprint, he did the bass guitar. So I hooked up with him, and he introduced me to this engineer, Nick Price, and it was close to my crib, so I would just go there. That's where I finished the album, was there. I did Nigger Christ there, Son of Horus, 24 Hours, Lunar Solar, Silence of the Lambada, New Miracle. I did all in the Bronx within the last 6 months of me coming out with that album, you know. So that was like half of the album was done within a year of the album coming out. And during this time, I wasn't sleeping right. I wasn't eating right. I was living in this tiny room. So I would show up to these sessions completely unprepared a lot of the times. And LSD, I would literally be on LSD, no sleep, drinking in there and coming up with these songs. And Son of Horus happened after I created 24 Hours, which shout out to Black Magic. I had like 30 minutes left in the session, and Nick Price brought up the beat, and I just went in the booth. I didn't have any of it written down, and I just did punch-ins. That's why it sounds raw like that. That's why it doesn't sound as meticulously written as the rest of my work on that album, because that song was literally freestyled like that. Like I just said, black man, ghetto lord. And then he punched me in. I don't know what the ghetto's for. Ghetto dog. That's why how I can have that cadence, because you can't write that. Like that's gotta just happen in that moment. And my voice, everything just was perfect for that. I was on no sleep. I wasn't thinking. I wasn't being overcritical. I was just in a flow state. And then I remember going home and saying, maybe I should write this and come up with better bars. Like, and I wrote something and it was too technical. And I was like, nah, that's gotta stay. But Nigger La Tesla happened because that's a concept I originally conceptualized way before that in 2017. Is I just wanted to, I like even in comedy, I like movies that set a storyline that allows for a lot of comedy to happen, like Anchorman or Step Brothers or Talladega Nights, those famous movies, or even Hangover. It's a loose enough storyline to where a whole bunch of bullshit can happen. Or I noticed that the reason why Eminem was so effective in his early career was because he had no rules. So he would, if you're talking about killing people and torturing your mother, there's so many creative devices that can come out of that, because of the way it's kind of like the table scene in Nutty Professor when they're with Nutty Professor when they're at the table. They always do the table scenes in comedy movies because it allows various dialect. So it's a point in the movie to where you can really let off. It's the Soul Train line. So the device, and this is how, so K Reno does this a lot. He'll set a device and he'll set up a set of rules that will allow him to go crazy within that creative thought. And it's the secret. So for me in that song, it was like, if I have Nikola Tesla, I can be this inventor. And then my creativity can be, what would I invent? So I can create all of this ridiculous hyperbolic technology that's never been invented. And that lyrical feat is just so fun. It's just a creative way to exercise as much possibility as possible. And but because you have, in order to stay succinct and be a good writer, you have to have some kind of storyline involved. So you know that I'm having this non-historical figure that is kind of like the historical figure, but if he was a black guy in the modern times, and that's the storyline. But within that, I get to go off. You know what
Nice,
I mean?
nice.
So
You go off, man. You kill it,
and
bro.
that beat was created while I was doing it by eBase and Nick Price. They created while I was rapping it. I had a whole other beat that I was rapping on, and they created that while I was rapping it, and I just put it together like that. It's a miracle. I don't know if I could ever do those things. Like, that's why I give honor to God and whatever it is. I just say God because it's the most familiar word to
I
explain
feel you.
what's going on, man. But I know it's not me. And I know that it's because I submit myself and I'm open to it, that I receive it. And I know that if I didn't prepare myself, I wouldn't be able to receive the algorithms. I learned the words so that way I can get them. You know, it's already kind of it's like I create the void in my mind so that way when this conveyor belt of thought comes, it fits right into there, boom, and it catches me, and I just stay awake to get it, you know. But I know if I didn't get it, somebody else would eventually.
Yeah, for real, for real. I feel you on that one, man. And yeah, those tracks and a lot of the tracks, you know, like, as a fan, I'm like, man, I wish I was in the studio just to witness that, you know, those certain tracks getting laid down. The Son of Horus, yeah, definitely one of those. Just like, yeah, the energy it's definitely comes through. And you man, you got people in the UK now feeling it. I'm sure you know around the world, people tapping in.
It's a
I'd
miracle,
love
man.
to think in the very near future, one way or another, whether it's physically or entheogenically, we can get you here connecting, connecting with our people, man, and
Please, man,
spreading
I'm
support.
open to it, dude. I'm open to it. I'll come tomorrow, man. You know what I mean? I'm ready, dude, at all times. So let me
Cool.
know when.
But yeah, I'll definitely keep you in the loop, bro. We have things, in the pipeline that we do annually, biannually, and I want to do my best to try and plug you into some of that for sure. And
Word.
but no, there's no buts. How do we find you, man? Where do we get hold of you and get access to your music, to your platforms, and all the rest of it, man?
Yeah, so it's at Cambatta Music, so Cambatta Music, Music. So at Cambatta Music is where you can find me on Twitter or Instagram. My website is www.cambattamusic.com. You can find all of my music on there. It's all everywhere you type it in, YouTube, Spotify, you'll find it. My most recent project is Manifest Destiny. It's a collaboration project with me and Loaded Lux and Black Magic doing all the beats. That's an exclusive project. It's not found anywhere except manifestdestinymusic.com is the only place you can hear that album. It'll be available to the world in a month or two. But right now you can Cambatta Music for all the music. You can search me on YouTube, see the videos, look up look up Michael Jackson, look up Nigger Christ, look up
Yeah,
my
yeah,
favorite
yeah.
song is Grand Number Theorem. So look up these
Deep,
songs.
yeah, deep, man. And if I could get my dream team together, man, I want to get you, K Reno, Rascas, get all you guys on one track. Oh man, that just be off the hook, man.
Yeah,
Um,
Me and K Reno working on something now, so it'll be out there soon enough, man. I'm not rushing him. I want him to, take as long as he needs on that.
oh
Because
man, yeah,
I
man.
sent him something that is definitely something that if once we nail it down together, it'll fit nicely in his catalog, So
Wicked, wicked, wicked. I definitely look forward to that, man. But bro, really appreciate the time and the sharing, and yeah, I hope that we can do it again real soon as well and chop it up. When you got a next project coming out and things happening, and we can just resonate and spread the spores, as I like to refer to it. And then, as I said, one day get you over here, man, doing what you do. And
definitely.
please give the brothers a shout over there, man. The Pillars, the Brother Riches, man. I was there 2008. That's when I went and got my download. And, yeah, since then, just was working on getting the brothers over. Black Dot came through, and we done some work. So if you're connected with the brothers, just send the love. And
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
man,
well, I gotta connect you with Brother Rich because he's been dealing with the psychedelics a lot lately. And you know, we just did a toll ceremony with the DMT. I had some Akasha DMT that I just got in, and so I know his channel's open to it too. So we definitely got to get you up there.
oh, that would be appreciated, man. Like I said, it's always been, man, that's what I've done. I was thinking about, I was going to pull them out the archives because when I was over there, I documented everything, you know what I'm saying? I was like,
Mm,
yeah, it's about that time to pull it out, and it's never been put on the internet. So I got all of those guys
wow.
from 2008 out, Harlem 125th, you know, on the strip, you know, when they were just fresh faces, you know what I'm saying? Fresh.
Mm,
So like, yeah, I look forward to reconnecting and seeing what we can build on, because at that period of time, I wasn't dealing with the psychedelics. I know they weren't at that time, and now we've got a force, and the priesthood has always been there, man. And now we've got the technology to support us moving this forward. I'm really looking forward to building in that way, bro. So once again, thank you for the time and effort and energy and what you're doing in general. And yeah, let's just keep it going, man. I got you, man. I got you. I'm gonna push this as much as I
thank you, man.
can.
The honor's all mine. The pleasure's all mine. Thankful to you, bro. Thank you so much for the
Absolutely,
opportunity,
man.
man. And we're definitely gonna link up, man. The stars will align, dude.
For sure, bro. But either way, man, I'll catch you up soon and all the best, man.
All right, man. Thank you, man. Speak to you soon, bro.
All right, peace.
Peace, peace.